Hey everybody, welcome back to Ponce Fam Adventures. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. One of the stories that Jonah has been into has been a story called Look Again Thomas. So recently we've been really tuned into the Formed app. It's been a really good app that has a lot of good movies on there, has some good lecture series on there, as well as some children's movies and shows. And recently I found some stories on there. So we're going to go through Look Again Thomas. Today we have Juliana. Say hi, Juliana.
Hi.
And then we have Jonah. Say hi, Jonah.
Hi.
And of course, myself, Mike. I'm just an ordinary dad, and my goal is to try to help foster a better relationship with my kids and family life. So we're going to be coming to you guys with different stories and different activities, and hopefully you guys can find value. Please, if you do like the story, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more. So let's get started. Today we're starting with Look Again Thomas, written and illustrated by the Sisters of Life. Angelo's family had moved into the house next door almost a year ago, but Thomas was always too busy to stop and talk. Instead, Thomas would ride his bike past Angelo's house and watch him as he sat on his porch steps, digging in a sack he carried everywhere. Angelo would pull things in and out, then mumble to himself. And sometimes it looked like he was just thinking. He seemed to be thinking a lot. Thomas decided Angelo was just too quiet. Then one day something happened. As Thomas was passing Angelo's house, he saw strange glasses hanging from his neck. "What are those, Angelo?" he shouted. "They are my seeing glasses," Angelo yelled back. Thomas leaned his bike against the fence and walked up to get a closer look. "What are they for?" "I'm going on a trip and I need them to see what I can't see." Thomas laughed. "You're crazy, Angelo." Angelo lit up. "Want to come?" "Well..." But Angelo didn't wait for an answer. He pulled out of his sack another pair of the strange glasses and put them in Thomas's hand. Before Thomas knew what was happening, they were headed down the street together. Left and right, up and down, straight and crooked, and all around they went. It felt like hours had passed before they found themselves surrounded by very, very tall trees that disappeared into the clouds. They plunked down on a log. Angelo pulled out his seeing glasses from his sack and put them on. Then he began searching for something. "Oh, look!" he pointed at a spot a few feet away. Thomas squinted to see. "It's a leaf? Look again, Thomas." Thomas put on his seeing glasses. "What is that?" "It's a chameleon. They change colors when they sit on different things." They watched as a chameleon changed from green to yellow. Then Angelo leaped off the log and took off, with Thomas trailing behind. Left and right, up and down, straight and crooked, and all around they went, until they came to a clearing. "Wow!" Angelo whispered as he walked up to the edge of a pond. "It's just water," Thomas grunted. "Look again, Thomas." Thomas pushed the seeing glasses over his nose, just as Angelo threw off his shoes, slipped on his flippers, and leaped into the cold water. With one huge splash, Thomas followed right behind. Coming up for air, Thomas sputtered. "All those colorful fish. There's a lot more than water under the surface." Angelo seemed pleased and he nodded. They swam to the edge, climbed out, and put the shoes back on. Then Angelo jumped up and shouted, "No time to waste, Thomas. Let's go." So off they went, left and right, up and down, straight and crooked, and all around. They ran and ran and ran until they began to feel the sun's heat fade away and the air turn cold. They couldn't feel much in their fingers and toes, so Angelo pulled from his sack some winter clothes. Then they ran some more until they came to a spot filled with so much white they forgot they were cold. "Look at all this snow, Angelo." And Thomas watched as a snowflake melted on his shoe. "Look again, Thomas." Thomas put on his seeing glasses and moved closer to some falling snowflakes. "This one is beautiful, and so is this one, and this one too." Each one is perfectly different from the next. Angelo smiled. He seemed to be thinking again. Thomas, there's one more place I want to take you. Let's go! So left and right, up and down, straight and crooked, and all around they went. They ran and ran and ran, and the cold from their toes melted, and they put their mittens back in Angelo's sack. Snowflakes changed to rain, and the rain changed to sun. The hard, icy ground went from white to green, and then to a reddish brown. And the next thing they knew, they were standing in the middle of a large, flat land filled with sandy earth that rolled over the rocks. Thomas rubbed his eyes. A kangaroo, Angelo? Look at that kangaroo! And there's another one. Look! And look how high they're jumping. Look what they can do, he blurted out with excitement. Thomas, Thomas, Angelo said with a bit of impatience. Look again. I don't understand. Look again. Thomas pushed the seeing glasses back on. He was silent, trying to understand, and then he saw it. There's two of them. There's a baby in her pouch. Now that's special. They watched as the mother kangaroo bent over and put her face close to her little one. And then she bounced away. Angelo looked at his watch just as the sun began slipping behind a rock. Oh no, Thomas, let's head home before everyone wonders where we are. They both threw their glasses in Angelo's bag, took a deep breath, and began running as fast as they could. Through the sand, under the rain, over the cold and icy land, into the grass, around the pond, up the hill, into the woods, and out onto the road that led to the flickering lights of their neighborhood. They stood catching their breath at the corner of their street. Angelo looked hopeful. Do you want to meet after dinner and talk about our day? Perfect! Thomas clapped his hands together and looked pleased. As he walked home, Thomas yelled over his shoulder, We have so much to talk about after such an exciting trip. Before the boys finally met up again, a dark blue blanket spread across the sky, and the stars sprinkled themselves everywhere. On their backs, they could see everything perfectly. Thanks for taking me with you on your trip, Angelo. Angelo nodded, but he had something else on his mind. Thomas, I keep thinking about all those things we saw today and how they can tell us something about people. Something about you and me and everyone around us. Thomas was silent. He had learned to listen when Angelo had something important to say. Angelo went on. Like missing the chameleon in the forest, we sometimes don't notice people or we ignore them. And we miss out on everything. Thomas nodded his head a little sheepishly. Does anyone see me? You see, Thomas, we are all like those snowflakes. God loved us into the world and made us each perfectly different and special. There is no one exactly like you or me on this planet. Each one of us is a precious treasure to God. Now, to see someone as God sees them, we need to look inside. We need to look deeper and underneath the surface, like at the pond. And then, like the kangaroo, we know that it isn't how high someone can jump, or what they look like, or what they own that matters. When we look inside, we see something much more important. We see their goodness, and we see their heart. The boys looked up at the shining moon, thinking about all these wonderful things. Suddenly, a shooting star sailed across the sky, and Thomas pointed. Look, Angelo! Then he added, I think God made us to be like shooting stars, bright lights for each other. Thanks for showing me how to see today. Angelo smiled. Then he dug into his sack one more time and pulled out the seeing glasses. You keep these, Thomas. They will remind you to always look again. The end. Did you like the story, Juliana? Yeah, did you like it, buddy? Yeah? So I have a question for you to think about. Question. What does it mean to say, put on your seeing glasses? Juliana, what do you think?
What?
What does it mean to say, put on your seeing glasses? What does it mean, buddy, to put on your seeing glasses? Yeah. But maybe to see people through God's eyes? What do you think? Yeah, what do you think, buddy? How do you want to see people? Yeah, under the surface. That's right. How about you?
Under the surface in our hearts.
In their hearts, under the surface? Yes, ma'am. And how do we do that? That's right. Being kind. And we be kind. We be kind. We be helpful. We be loving to other people. Right? Yeah, buddy? You? Excellent. So I want you to think about these stories. What does it mean to say, put on your seeing glasses? And how do we do that?
To see.
That's right. We ask God to show us the goodness He sees in each person's heart. And then He will teach us how to be that shooting star, that bright light, just like Angela was for Thomas, by encouraging others in their goodness. What's one way you're nice to people?
By sharing your toys if went to a sleepover and the other people didn't.
Okay, that's a good idea. What about you, buddy? What's a way of showing love to other people?
What if someone goes to a place and they want to play like hide the toy and someone wants to play like with monitos and it didn't bring a monito, the other one shares?
Oh, you share your monitos? Yeah, that's right. You share your little toys and your G.I. Joes or your Legos? Yeah? Attaboy. All right. That's a good story, huh? I love it. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today with Look Again Thomas, again written and illustrated by the Sisters of Life. I really want to thank the Formed app. You can find it on your Apple TV or on your iOS device. I'm not sure if it's available for Android, but check it out. Again, if you like this story and you want to hear others, please feel free to hit subscribe, tune in to our channel. We're going to be trying to be posting more of these. And of course, you can always check us out on YouTube as well too, Ponce FM Adventures. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you all.